G'day Guardians, and welcome back to another episode of Destiny for Dummies, the show primarily about Destiny 2 with a unique Australian flavour. I wanted to take a look today at the Eververse, the shop that everyone loves to hate, but do we really have a good reason to, or are we just a bunch of whingers who can't let go of the past? We're also going to take a quick look at what items you can get and can't buy for Bright Dust this season. So if you see a cool item but don't want to part with your hard-earned stash, you can just wait till it rolls round. So why does Eververse cop such a bad rap? Well, back in the day of Year 1, there's no doubt the only cool things in Destiny were located in the Eververse. There was no endgame, no high-end activities, and the most fun to be had was grinding out XP to earn more engrams to turn into Eververse in the hope of getting something cool. Eververse truly was the end game and was the source of all that is good in Destiny. To make matters worse, the best source of XP was grinding public events. That's it. And I note that even to this day the XP dispersal throughout the game is still not the best, but I think because we have bounties outshadowing them, no one bitches about it. My personal opinion is that the longer an activity takes and the harder it is, the more XP you should gain. A public event, let's be generous and say it takes 5 minutes, why shouldn't a strike that, say, takes 15 minutes get 3 times the XP? Why shouldn't a raid give you 20 times the XP? At least then you can go and enjoy all the content available and not burn you out doing the same thing over and over and over again. Back to the public events though, unfortunately they were also boring as fuck. I can remember logging in for week over week, doing public event after public event until I'd earned all 3 Eververse engrams on each character and then handed them in and then didn't play again for the week. But in this day and age, over several iterations, the Eververse has more items available for purchase for Bright Dust than ever before. There's quite a few bounties that give out Bright Dust, as well as an extra couple of K in the Season Pass, which was just introduced at the time of this video, I might add, Seasons of Arrivals. There's also the mnemonic engrams, for which every 5 levels over 100 on the Season Pass gets you a chance to grab something from a couple of seasons ago. Bungie has also been adding more and more rewards back into the game as rewards from high-end activities, as well as some other changes such as no enemy-themed ornaments or vehicles in the Eververse going forward, and weapon skins etc. also being removed going forward. I expect we're going to see the results of these changes a lot more in Beyond Light. Now, the fact is, I don't mind chucking a few bob at the Eververse for some particularly cool emote or ship. For the amount of hours I play Destiny, the fact is the $14 it cost me per season is 2/10 of fuck all. It's like having 2 or 3 beers at the pub. Fact is, Destiny is a big game. It has a big development team along with big development costs. So if spending a couple of dollars here and there helps them to make additional content or keep operating, then so be it. Does all the money they get go back into more content? Probably not. But don't forget guys, Bungie is a business. They're not out there making Destiny content just because they can or just because they want the world to be a better place. They're there to make money. Individual people working for them probably do it because they can and they love the game, but the primary driving factor of any business is to make money. Show me the money! The trick is to find a balance between making a few bucks and blindly tearing your customers a new one. And I think truly Bungie is trying to get the right balance and certainly has tipped in our favour lately, probably even more than I ever expected it to, that's for sure. Now, in the interest of saving some more of your hard-earned cash, let's take a look at what is actually for sale for silver and what you can get with all that Bright Dust you've been hoarding. I've got to admit, I'm feeling a little bit like a pauper lately since I've been making videos. I've barely been playing and I'm actually down to only 110k. What the fuck? Big shout out to the team over at todayindestiny.com/Eververse, which is where I got a lot of my information from. Why don't you send some love over to the guys? First of all, shaders and transmat effects and all but one ghost projection are available for Bright Dust. So we can just forget about wasting your money on those. The only projection to keep an eye out for if you've got some spare change and it's burning a hole in your pocket is the depository, which basically is a picture of the bank in a contact event. I have to say personally I've never actually equipped a projection, so there's no loss there for me. Also easily covered, there is only one finisher available for Bright Dust, and that's the Fist of Fury for 3.5k. Personally, I think it looks fucking stupid, but hey, that's just me. Moving on to something slightly more interesting, we have only 5 sparrows that you actually will have to fork out for, and they are the Braytech Dream, the Dark Horse, the Jotun, One Fell Swoop, and the Motherlode. Personally, I'd only consider the Braytech Dream and Jotun out of those, particularly if you're a fan of toasting. Onto ships, and there's only 6 you need to swipe your plastic for. The Cella N, Don't know why the fuck it's called that. Ariana's Vengeance, Odorirur, and Summertide Kite, Threat Display, and Transpose. Honestly, I think if you like any of those, you probably deserve to pay for them because many of the Bright Dust ones are so much better, though they are worth 2,000 Bright Dust if you do go that way. On a side note, the Sparrows are 2,500 Bright Dust, which seems kind of strange, but I'll build a bridge and get over it, I'm sure. Onto the Ghosts. I don't know about anyone else, but they are so small and hard to see at times that I don't get too excited about them, other than a couple that really do look like the duck's nuts. I will say, however, I think it's closed now, but the Empathic is one worth getting, as all the proceeds went to help children get iPads and stuff to make their hospital stays more fun. Say what you will about Bungie, their community spirit is second to none. The ones which I wouldn't rush out to buy, though, are Fastlane, Jubilant, Ophincus, PS1, and the Sanctum Plate Shell. But hey, it is your money. If you can hold out though, they'll set you back 2,800 dust for any of the other ones. Now, on to the really good stuff. If you don't mind a weapon ornament here and there, the ones you're going to have to become a shill for are ahead of its time. Beast Magic, Between Breaths, highly recommend that one, it's one of my favourites. Bound Hammer, Equinox, Guardian Angel, Lucid Melody, One Terrible Scream, Packmaster's Command, Red String of Fate, Sand and Sun, Sky Perdition, Symbiosis, Third Rail, and Wishes of Sorrow. If you wait for any of the others, you'll have to shell out a cool $12.50 in Bright Dust. Not to be outdone, since everyone likes to look cool, we have the silver-only armour ornaments. These bad boys are worth 1,500 Bright Dust in the cash shop, but the ones you'll have to flash your actual cash for are that thing, the Fuck, I can't even say that. The Arcturus Engine, Jian, Fenhuang, where do they get these names? The Gate Lord, and Path to Convergence, which is actually really cool, I might add. And finally, before we can go back to doing whatever it was before you clicked on this video, we have everyone's favourites, the emotes. The ones you're going to need a second job to cover are Camping, Cerebral Explosion, Consult the Archives. By the way, you also got that one with the first Grimoire book if you didn't already. Feline Fancy, Flag on the Play, Cowbell, one of my personal favourites, Nothing is Wrong, Spicy Ramen, Spring Showers, and the Unbridled Enthusiasm. They're the exotic ones. There are a couple of legendary ones as well. Leggy Dance, Arcstrider's Patience, Gunslinger's Anticipation, Dawnblade's Anticipation, Stylish Shit, Night Stalker's Respite, Link Up, Sentinel's Respite, Striker's Patience, Sunbreaker's Anticipation, Stormcaller's Patience, and Voidwalker's Respite. Also one blue, Victory Shout. For the ones that rotate through the dusty shells of the Eververse, they'll cost you 3,250 for the exotic and 700 for the legendary ones. I do think these are a bit exy, but it's not like you have to buy them, and at least it's going to Bungie's coffers and not Activision's. And that's it for today's episode, guys. I tried to keep the length down, but I don't really think I succeeded. But at least you can check back here on the timestamp each week before you buy that item and regret it the following week when it's for dust. No one needs that frustration. If you found the video informative, please do us a favour and hit the subscribe button, like, and make any comments in the section below, especially if you know an item has changed. And given the season extension, that could be particularly true. I'll try to remember to pin any changes at the top as we go. But until next time, grab your piece of string and your tin cans. You'll need them again next week when we go back down under.